Hello and welcome. My name is Sheep Thief, and today I'll be coming at you with some Warno 1v1 replay analysis. This is a game between me playing the 11th Parachutiste and the 3rd Armored Division by Thoughtful Frag. Thoughtful Frag we'd played before and had a good game before where he beat me rather soundly. And so I went into this game sort of having an idea of what he was up to. I'm going to slow it down before it starts. It looks like, so for those who don't know, the Parachutistes, this French division, are allowed to start further forward. So my goal is to push and take ground in the beginning, whereas he has to stay back here. Now to counter this, the American player is sending troops and helicopters forward to try to sort of at least get a bit of a presence on this map, which I think is sort of a bigger map than usual, I want to say. I don't really know. Also, just for the record, I'm a total noob. This is like my 13th or 14th game, I think, online. I've played, and I don't have much time in single player either, so mistakes will be made. And this is by no means how you should play, but it's how I try to do it. So, this Blackhawk comes forward, sets up by the tree line. Pretty much the only American presence forward here, except for these aircav troopers, which head directly for this highly vertical forest over here. In the depending on, well, on my right flank, on his left flank. I infested the city, maybe excessively. I think I maybe could have pushed up to here. And just for the record, this is a long game, but at the end there's a pretty epic battle. So if you stick around, you'll get to see that. Sniper comes here, interesting position for it. I think he was expecting more over here. But honestly, for the Parachutiste, this isn't that easy to control. It's very open, in my opinion. I think what's easier from the like 15 games that I've played is cities and forests. That's where I feel like the Parachutistes are strong, whereas this tank division is very good here. I push forward with into this sector that I was just talking about, but as you can see, I just get it and then sort of back up. I think I'm not really expecting to hold it. Meanwhile, the American is setting up like a nice, thoughtful infrastructure of defenses here. So we've got this anti-air system that he's setting up. We move forward with these two to try to engage this helicopter, this scout helicopter, but come under fire from this pretty well-placed ATGM, which takes out one of my AA guns. I back up, having thoroughly wounded this scout and made it back off, but at the cost of one of my units. I think we shot down a helicopter, if I recall correctly. Yeah, there's a helicopter with these AA batteries over here. Something went down there. M1A1 command tank is coming up. There's an M1A1 set up here already. Bradleys and just sort of sparse units for the American. These aircav are sort of ready to control this. It became clear to me later how important this forest is. I'll speed it up a little bit. We're both I'm a new player, and we were pretty evenly matched. So maybe he won one and I won one. I think he's a better player than I am. Pretty much in every category, but this was a close game. So I don't know, what was my point there? Just that. Okay, so here we go. The M1A1 takes out that sniper. And there goes my control of that, and my point lead is gone. And now I'm thinking like, and this is where I should speed it up, is I'm thinking kind of, what do I do now? How do I attack into all this? I see this napalm bomber I see the M1A1s, I'm just thinking like, what do I need? And honestly, there's just a huge buildup that starts to happen. These scouts, the napalm bomb goes off. And so I'm sort of like, okay, is he going to sit back and bombard? Is he going to sit back and like build up tanks? And I'm just kind of thinking, how can I... here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, how can I take this sector? There's a bit of fighting here that we're just not in a good position. I think in retrospect I needed Milan's set up all around here to try to contest exactly what's happening right here. I think in the future I'm going to set up Milan's in this along with like at least 2 infantry, close quarters infantry, to take over this forest, because I think this forest is how you command this. Napalm bombers hit the Mistrals. But the Mistrals do take out the plane. We have a laser guided bomb that comes in onto the M1A1 Abrams and does take it out. Backs up. Meanwhile, his aircraft troopers have pushed me out of this little building right here, along with the Abrams. But I think ultimately I came out on top in that fight because of the loss of the plane and the M1A1 Abrams. But he won. He won the battle, but hasn't necessarily won the war with that. Like, he pushed me off of this position, which I think for him is good, because he just wants to sit back and take and build up like an impenetrable wall. But I think I came out on top in points there. So we'll speed it up. Again, we're both newer, or I should stop saying that. I don't know how long he's been playing, but I am a newer player, and so the amount of like activity that happens can be there are lulls when I'm thinking. So I set up a ton of Milans over here, maybe a little too cautiously. I think really the order here should have been close quarters infantry in the forest, followed by Milans, and then they could push up here without much of a problem and start threatening this sector. Yeah, just a big build-up. He takes this building, pushes forwards with Bradleys, and takes out these Legionnaires. There's a bit of an engagement here. Legionnaires go down. Aircav troopers start opening up on this Milan. It's pushing forward. And kill it. So that's why I was saying I needed to push forward with the close quarters infantry before I just send the Milans blindly in. That was a loss of a Milan 2 for nothing. Lots of it seems like the Americans thoughtful frags thought here is to just kind of build up. I think he could have chilled out right here and instead tried to push across this open area to this thing, which is worth 2. So I think that would have been better. And then I also think that with like a small amount of resources he could cause problems here. But it seems like he wanted a nice big front line here, sort of right next to mine. We'll speed it up. Mistral opens up on the Apache, which sets off smoke, but the Mistral re-targets it, and the Apache goes down. Does not get my vehicle over there. Over here, Legionnaire and Air Cav troopers have opened up on each other. Paras are brought up, and napalm is set loose in the forest. So Legionnaires do start to take damage. And the aircraft troopers do make it out. Now I'm kind of separated because of this this burning napalm. This inferno is keeping me from supporting these Legionnaires, so they're kind of on their own. I push forward with the Marine Parachutistes, but I'm sort of desperate here, thinking like I'm running. The time is ticking, and the more time that goes on, the more entrenched he's going to get. And at least as far as I know, attacking with this division is not easy, because you don't have like strong tanks. You have to set up a ton of infantry. So yeah, we push. A pretty good kind of cross fire of ATGMs, although I think he could use more if he has more. Just one in every tree line. Artillery opens up. It seems like it's setting off fires as well. I didn't quite understand. It's definitely starting some kind of fire there. These Marines are just completely trapped in there. They're not happy. I don't know who would be. This howitzer is oh, it's a tank. So we're pushing into this forest. I'm curious what he sees right here. He knows something's going on here. He sees a tank here. These are like barely tanks, just for anyone's information. They're like really flimsy tanks. They look like tanks, but they're like kind of not. Yeah, and meanwhile what I see is... Hubert, couche-toi! Yeah. See what he sees? Yeah, he doesn't see much. Interesting. So, Legionnaire and aircraft troopers start to come into contact. There is a Black Hawk here. Laser guided bomb does come out here. I'll follow that. And this is kind of where this war of attrition starts to begin. Over here in this build-up in the woods. Bomb goes off. Takes out a ATGM. It's pretty much the only thing I could see. I pull these Legionnaire back. And at this point I'm starting to understand that there's going to be a big fight here. The Black Hawk is controlling this this fight right now. It needs to go down. More aircraft troopers come in. Marine Paras versus aircraft troopers. I'm not really sure who wins here. Keep an eye on that. Bradley opens up, giving the edge to the thoughtful frag. Starting to take damage, so I pull back. Fighter comes in, takes out the helicopter and makes it out alive. Now we're deep enough in the forest that we can just have this infantry fight without interference. Mistral opens up on the Apache. Or, no, a supply helicopter takes it out. Meanwhile, this fight in the forest is going up the slope. Nice, pure woodland infantry fight. More aircraft troopers pouring in. Bradley opens up on something in there and destroys it. Laser guided bomb takes out one of the vehicles there. Again, my vision isn't great. At this point I'm starting to realize that I'm having vision problems, and I start bringing in recon. Paras SAS mainly. So we run into this fire team and aircraft troopers, and I kind of get the sense that I'm being overrun. have this laser-guided bomb over here. More artillery, as you can see. Starts to light up this location. There's this fight on the side of a hill. Very cool. What does that mean? What's that symbol mean? Cluster bomb comes out. Heading for that tank that I think he's been seeing for a few minutes, and finally the Mistrals take it down and bring out a fighter as well. That's a good trade for us. Milan opens up on the Bradley. Yes. Gets it. Two anti-airplanes come out a little late. And we finally, after 20 minutes, have a Milan set up on the flank here. Starts to have to pop smoke. There's still a fierce infantry fight happening over here, and another Black Hawk causing issues. Laser-guided bomb comes in for the Abrams. Does not kill it, but does a fair amount of damage. Similarly, I'm not really sure what you call this. Is this an ASF fighter? I'm not really sure. Does not kill the helicopter, so that was a poor performance from the French Air Force. Napalm bomber comes in. Heading for the infantry. And it's a okay hit. Does land on top of that Milan, which will probably go down. Aircraft troopers open up on the Milan, or the Paramarines, and open up on the aircraft troopers. Bradley fires at a Milan tank and gets it. Cluster bomber comes off, firing at the Command M1 Abrams, and it goes down at the cost of the Jaguar. So the cluster bomber did die, but that's, I think, a worthwhile trade. Artillery continues to come down on my positions, but one thing I'm noticing about the American players' setup here is this distinct lack of recon. As you can see, he has no idea where I am. He knows I'm in the city, but I mean, this is just like the front. Like, look, these units are literally walking out. Why they are walking out is we will figure out now. This seems to be some harebrained idea. Bradley opens up on these Paramarines that are just out in the open. Milan does get a shot off on the Abrams, which pops smoke and backs off. This ill-fated attack is repulsed. But yeah, I think one problem here is that he's got all this stuff, but not any good ways to see it. Whereas, if I may say, I have like recon units all over the place, if I may say. ATGM does open up on the Abrams, which is not, looks like he doesn't see that yet. Another missile goes off, snaking across the planes, does more damage on it, stunned. Third ATGM missile snaking across. M1 Abrams still up, but backs off. This Milan is now out of missiles. These two units pull back, and I reinforce them with logistics, with the logistics truck, which I thought was a nice little bit of resource efficiency right there. The howitzer continues to do damage here. It seems like he's got a lock on this Milan. He has an idea that something's there. direct hit takes it out. Should have backed that up. ATGM sees something there. Fires at my Milan 1, which is disembarked in the woods. Fire is ineffective. You're starting to have some ammo problems. Just, yeah, with like a Stinger, an ATGM. But generally a lot of these are fresh. There's a huge build up here that I think would be better served down here. He must have been fearing an attack from this direction, which I just like was not gonna happen. I don't know how I could have done that. Maybe like, yeah, this is really the only avenue of attack for me. So ATGMs open up. Para SAS do manage to get out. Laser guided bomb takes that out. Maybe excessive, but don't fire. It's gone now, so. Alright, big buildup of infantry right here. French infantry back up the mountain. Again, a serious lack of ATGMs. As you can see, the infantry here has been replenished. Howitzer opens up on the Para SAS, and a laser guided bomb takes out another M1A1. This time the enemy's air defenses have built up, and this time 2 fighters do the trick, taking out a helicopter, and all the planes do make it out alive. The laser guided bomb was injured and will need repairs, and one of the infantry squads did ultimately perish, but for a helicopter and an M1 Abrams, that is okay. Five squads of American infantry chasing this French infantry up the mountain. My perspective is one of confusion about confusion about how I'm supposed to push into this wall of tanks, and just a general sense of panic. I don't know what Thoughtful Frag was thinking, but again, just like no vision at all of what's going on.
Enemy at 3 o'clock high.
Pushing forward with this infantry, and this is pretty good for us. We've got a very elite, or I don't know about elite, but a specialized close quarters infantry unit holding off 2, and then these para-marines sort of hitting from the flank. One of the Bradleys goes down to a laser guided bomb. Howitzer firing at this para SAS that's just sitting in the open in a field. And yeah, this flamethrower sappers are causing some serious problems. Cobra opens up on the para SAS. Looks like there's an ammo problem for this Cobra. These para-marines are still alive. The sappers continue to push forward. They've killed 1 unit. Fighter opens up on the Cobra and does take it out. Explodes in the forest. Looks like destruction on the hill. The hill is catching fire. Sappers continue to move forward, or no, it looks like they've sort of stopped. They're now joined by a para-marine. These replenished units are sent back to the front. Everything is out of ammo, but supply is coming in. Looks like the American player is setting up for attack at this point, bringing a commander forward. Large amounts of flash engineers, some Bradleys, some ATGMs on the flanks. I like the way he spaced out his ATGMs, but I think he could have more. But yeah, Bradley opens up with, but must have lost sight. LG laser guided bomb blows something up right there and gets away. One of the things that I think really helped me this game was laser guided bombs seem to consistently be able to get over here along this snaking path, and I would micro it. I would bring them in, micro them here, have them attack from this direction, and then evac that way. And they came under minimal fire. Anti-air comes forward to try to sort of sneeze at this embedded infantry, but that is ineffective. I bring out 3, let's slow this down, because I remember this. So, 1 fighter opens up. The first missile is evaded. 2 missiles go after this one and are evaded. This one's second missile goes off, and these 2 do okay, or a Mistral does manage to take this plane out of the sky. So he brought out 2 fighters, I brought out 3, both utterly failed, but I think a Mistral did manage to shoot this plane down. It looks like there's a bit of a push out here. These scouts are caught out by the sniper, and 2 M11 3A3s come forward with engineers. We have thoroughly infested, well, I don't know about thoroughly. He still has this sort of beachhead here, but we are causing problems for this forest. The American push is coming. This anti-air piece opens up, and the fight for this city, for Alpha, begins. Meanwhile, over here, the infantry, my infantry is sort of pushed back by this Black Hawk, and there's an explosion of fire that opens up right here in this field. Americans have a big attack. A laser-guided bomb takes out the engineers in this beachhead, and another takes out those 2 units right there. Helicopters come in. Meanwhile, over here, a big fight breaks out. The M11 3A3s are pushing forward, and these units are taking a bit of a beating. There's not enough AA in here, but the helicopters are just taking small arms fire. They start to go down. We're running out on time limit here. Over here, just a big mob of infantry is again taking just small arms fires, fending off these Black Hawks. M11 3A3s are sitting there causing problems, pushing back this infantry on the outskirts of the city. But a lot of this is just caught out in the field. I start bringing forward tanks, kind of in desperation. I'll show you what I saw. We'll slow it down a bit. Cluster bomber takes out some of those, or one of those M11 3A3s. So we'll bring it down. I just want to show you what I saw. I saw this attack. Like you can see, let's just compare my vision. This is what I see. This is what he sees. He sees nothing here. He sees like 2 units and some vehicles coming forward. So my vision is way better, just from the recon. And just for that comparison one more time, this is mine. Yeah, so I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 units. Whereas he can only see currently 1. So that's one thing that I think, but I am in no room to talk, just for the record. I am in no room to talk, because he beat me, this same player beat me in the game before this, and I'm an utter noob, but it seems to me like he has a vision problem. Got a lot of infantry here, and there is now, I give a general advance. You can see all my units kind of creeping forward. This stays where it is, kind of holding off. Bring it up to half speed to kind of, there's a lot going on very quickly. These two para SAS they hold out for a long time. This is all moving forward. We got these tanks coming up. As you can see, his like M1A1 backbone has been sort of broken down due to the like non-stop laser guided bomb. Just another, or that was a Bradley that went down, and finally my laser guided bomber smashes off the map. So that was the end of that one. But we'll look at the kills at the end. And they were causing some serious problems for this guy. More units are coming in. More tanks. This is now normal speed. Another M1A1 comes up. ATGM opens up on it. Starts to cause problems. Another M1A1. SEAD tries to suppress the chaparral. I'm gonna slow this down. A lot of stuff opens up fire. I want to see what he saw here.
I'm hit.
He's starting to see more of these tanks. And a
Enemy
lot
at
of
3 o'clock
ATGM
high.
fire and stuff coming out from the. Look at that. Because you
can't
can't
take
see
it
anything.
anymore.
It looks like it's just coming out of the forest.
We've used up all our ammo, sir.
He
One
sort of
less
gets a
copy.
beachhead in here. Meanwhile, what I see is this. Let's go back to neutral. And there's just a general advance with the tanks. AT Jaguar comes in for something here. I think these M1A1s that are kind of grouped together. Jaguar takes a lot of damage and does go down. But maybe it didn't get its weapon off. Speed it up a little bit. Over here, aircraft troopers have taken over the city. Just an explosion of violence here on the outskirts. And they have managed to get a beachhead. And at this point, 2 minutes left in the game. Apache takes a hit. Bunch of fighter planes. I pull them out just because I'm sensing a big air engagement incoming. And 1A1 Abrams finally moves up here. And the aircraft troopers are pushed back by flamethrower sappers. ATGM opens up on one of the Abrams and slow down. There's just, I remember there being something crazy that happens here. ATGM opens up. This is out of ammo. I'm just pushing forward madly now. Just constant. Look at all the ATGMs flying across the field. Look at that. Just withering fire. routed, pushed back. We do get a commander here. And finally we have our tick. AT Jaguar comes in. Look at all the fire coming out here. We'll speed it up just for the last few seconds here. Just a mess. The SEAD goes down, I think. But just the tank backbone has been destroyed. And we thoroughly push into this. The SEAD does take out one of the remaining air things, and at this point I think so technically this would have been a draw, but very honorably Thoughtful Frag surrendered, and so I did technically win, but I just want to say GG to Thoughtful Frag. It was a really cool game, especially at the end there. I really liked that like final. It was just like a minute long, but there was. I wish I could bring it back because I'd like to watch it again, but I can't. But this push here was fun, and then I got a lot of good practice with planes as well. But yeah, I think he's it is worth saying that this would have technically been a draw if he had not surrendered. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Looking back, I guess what I would do differently is just, first of all, flank a little harder, flank the open areas with Milans a little more, protect the Milans with, all of this could have happened a lot faster if I just pushed forward with flamethrower sapeurs a little faster. And we did like thoroughly take this, and then at this point we could have like collapsed around this, and I think we had air superiority at this point because yeah, he's literally out of AA. So I think we did with that push solidly win right there, and I think it could have happened earlier. So yeah, I think just what I needed to do is move a little faster and be a little more confident with and just get the sequencing of pushing with clearing the close quarters and then setting up your Milans and AA. And then if I was to give a single piece of advice to Thoughtful Frag, it would be more recon, because he literally couldn't see like my units at all. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll let it finish. Oh yeah, we're gonna look at the stats. So my SEADs at this point, yeah, you can see I have like complete air. They're just roaming around. So you can see it was 6,800 kills to 5,000, which I think is a lot for a Warno game. And yeah, look at the LGBs. M1 Abrams, N1 Abrams, N1, or no, then a ton of infantry. M1 Abrams, N1 Abrams. These Paramarines did really well. Paramarines did really well. Sapeurs did okay. He had a ATGM that got a ton of kills. Yeah, his ATGMs did well. So RD did alright. A helicopter did really well. So, yeah, GG. And again, thank you to, this is like broken here. Okay, thank you for watching.